Hello, welcome back everyone. Thanks for joining me and happy Easter. Today, we'll be discussing species delphiniums. Now, what do I mean by species delphiniums? Now, species delphiniums have not been cultivated, so you won't have the big glorious flower spike like you see from your standard garden delphiniums, your English delphiniums, Pacific giants. However, they are beautiful nonetheless. And the great thing is, overall, they require the same conditions. Most of them, you don't have to stake, however, unless you want to. Now I have 4 species delphiniums here, 2 of them from the western US, 1 from Iran and Afghanistan, and the other from the Mediterranean. My first 2 will be from the western US. This little one is Delphinium menziesi. It has a purple floret, so you're not going to have a nice big flower spike on it like I mentioned. There's 5 little florets here. It's blooming a little bit early, and it only gets 12 to 15 inches tall, so a very small delphinium. It's perennial, fairly easy to start from seed, and if you want something native to the US or something different in your garden, this is a great little plant. And obviously it doesn't take up much room. Another delphinium from the western US is Delphinium nudicle. This has the other name, Delphinium nudicle fox. Again, 12 to 15 inches. It's a much loved delphinium by hummingbirds. Single florets, they look like little trumpets. They are bright red, reddish orange, and they are very striking in the garden, in a garden pot. They're also perennial. And if I was to mix these in the garden, think about mixing them with Nepeta, lighter purple, bring out that real pizzazz in the garden. Great for bees, great for hummingbirds. It's one of their favorite delphiniums. And again, doesn't get very big. 12 to 15 inches. Beautiful, beautiful delphinium. This delphinium is Delphinium semibarbatum. Sometimes you'll see it called sulfur spike. And this is actually my first year growing it. And unlike other delphiniums, where it makes a nice little root crown, this makes a tuber much like a dahlia. Now, talking to other delphinium growers, if this delphinium does get too hot, it might start to die back because it's trying to conserve that energy. Because if you think about Iran, Afghanistan mountains, they're trying to bloom before all that heat comes so they can set some flower seed. So if you see it start to do that, maybe think about moving into a cooler spot in the garden, a little bit out of the sun. That way it doesn't just die back on you and try to bloom the next year. That way you can get blooms that first year. But like I said, it gets about 3 feet high. And here's a kicker. It is yellow florets. You don't really see that in the delphinium world. Typically you see blues, purples, whites, all the different flower mixes. Yellow is very hard to come by, and you get something very exotic in your garden. And from what I hear, is the bees love it. It's single florets, so they won't last as long. But I've seen pictures. This has been very, very, very easy to grow from seed, and I can't wait to see what the tubers actually look like. And it's also perennial, by the way, if I didn't mention that. Look at these glossy leaves. This is Delphinium merquenii. It comes from the Mediterranean. It's not perennial like the other delphiniums. It's a biennial, meaning it grows foliage the first year, blooms the second year. Now, even though this delphinium's from the Mediterranean, I'm here in zone 6B. I have successfully overwintered it in the garden, and it's come back the following year to flower. So take that as you will. I have had success here with it. It grows fairly fast. It will set seed when it flowers and sprout where it's happy. And the plant gets 3 to 4 feet tall. Single blooms are almost like a violet gray, if that makes sense. And it is stunning in the borders, all put together. 3 to 5 Requenii together are just truly stunning in the garden. If you never tried them, give them a shot. Bees love them. They do make a statement. But just remember, after the bloom, they will die off on you. So go ahead, wait for those flower spikes to mature. Sprinkle that seed in the garden. Save some seed for yourself. They do grow extremely well from seed. Started indoors in a cold frame. So they are not hard to start. They're very hardy and they make a statement. And that's it, everyone. Give species Delphiniums a try. My heart is with the English Delphiniums. I do love my species Delphiniums, Requenii, Beautiful Fox. We'll see how I feel about Semibarbatum. I still can't wait to see what that looks like as it matures. Well, I hope you learned something, everyone. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit here. And until next time, bye-bye.